right, welcome back. And on this part of today's video, what we're going to do is I came over here to Build Tune Races shop with James Shower, and because I'm a aluminum TIG welding illiterate and he's good at it, we're putting the drains.
That's pretty good.
We're going to put the drain plugs right about the drain Orbeez right about there in this new pan that I got from my cousin. We're going to get this taken care of so that I can get the bottom end put back together.
Don't pay attention to the start and stops all the time.
Well, we're getting close. He's got one little spot, but we got two. You see the one right there? We got one there, and then that one there. So I got caps for those right here. So what I'm going to end up doing is we're welding these on, get this oil pan on with the new oil pump on, and then cap them off so that we can bring it here so that we can build the whole turbo kit. And when we start that, it's going to be an awesome learning curve for me because I do not know anything about TIG welding aluminum or stainless. But I could do mild steel really good, but you know, having somebody teach you that knows is probably better. So we'll get this done and then get it back on. So after 3 weeks of waiting for it to be delivered in the mail, it is here. We have got our high volume, high pressure oil pump. Me and Steve are gonna head to the yard so that we can start installing this, so that we can get the new oil pan on and see how it fits. So, all right. So as you can see here, we have our oil pump. It's high volume, high pressure. And we're going to tear into the bottom of the engine here, or the bottom-ish. We're going to get into the timing cover, get that off, so that we can get the new oil pump installed. And then we're going to button everything back up, flip it over, and have it pretty well ready for it to go into the truck. Once James gets back from down south, he had a wedding he had to go to. So when he gets back, I'm going to talk to him about getting the torque converter so that I can put it on so that we can get it mounted up, everything mounted up and put in so that Steve and I can then concentrate on getting dipstick done and little stuff like that, and wiring done, and get everything prepped so that we can start doing the turbos. So I've gotten the harmonic balancer off, and right now what I'm working on is starting to get the water pump off so that I can start to try and get the oil pump done. Now I'm trying to get this done by about 12:30, 1 o'clock, because there's the Colorado Cash Days going on here in Pueblo that Steve and I are trying to make it to. So I have gotten the front cover off, the gasket is off, so now I have this loose so that I can move it around. And now I'm going to get the 4 bolts out of the oil pump so that I can slide it out, so we can slide the new one on, fill it full of assembly lube so that it gets lubed right away and helps create a suction. And then we will get the O-ring on the O-rings on the suction tube and go from there. So I had filled the oil pump up with some assembly lube, and as I was turning it, it got real hard to turn and started creating a suction. So I know that's good there. So now I got it on. Now I'm going to torque the bolts down where it needs to go, and then I'm going to pull the the sump tube off really quick and make sure that I put my O-rings where they need to go, exactly how they need to go, and then tighten it down as directed, or as it's supposed to be, so that we can start making all the oil volume and pressure. Alrighty, so we have the new Melling high volume, high pressure oil pump in with the proper spring and cap. We have the new sump pickup tube installed with the proper O-ring and both bolts in. Now what we're going to do is install the new oil pan gasket and oil pan. Thank you, Carrington, for being able to supply this for me. And then while we're doing that, we're going to show you some upgrades to the pan that we did after we get it installed. So I put a dab of silicone in the corners just because that's where it meets up, and I don't like things to have an area where they can leak, especially on the racetrack. I've gotten in trouble a couple of times at our track or having some sort of fluid leaking, and I don't want to do that again. So what me and Steven are going to do really quick is we're going to get this on here. And now we're going to get the new pan on. Once we get the pan on, we'll tighten the pan up other than the front two here, and then we'll get the harmonic balancer on and then tighten everything up together. That way we know that the harmonic balancer is where it needs to be, the pan's where it needs to be, and boom, boom, done. Alright, so we got the new oil pan on. It is a little bit shorter of an oil pan, which is fine. Still has a trap door down in here so that we can't, so it helps not starve the engine of oil. Other thing we got is this ICT billet oil feed adapter for the turbo supplies. I have the inner piece here so that we could put a brand new oil filter on it, which we're going to go with a K&N or a Wix Racing, one of the two. We have the new starter on here, which is a high torque gear reducted starter. I'm going to see how that goes. And then the other thing is with that we have welded our drain bungs on the oil pan, as you will see right before this, of James welding that on there for me, because like I said, he's good at welding aluminum. I am aluminum welding illiterate. But we have one on each side because the turbo drains are going to come out about right here and go right up into there on both sides. And then the other one over here will come right past the alternator and then drop right in. So I'm going to get the last bit of the oil pan stuff put on so that we are good on that. As you saw in the how-to video, we have a removable steering wheel, which is really nice for us to have, especially with me being a little thicker in the skin. It allows me to be able to get in and out real easy by just having it out of the way. And then I can just grab it from the gun rack, squeeze it, and then put it on one-handed. I think this is a very neat design. If you guys have an older Chevy or Ford vehicle that you would like to have a detachable steering wheel on but still maintain your stock steering column, very good investment. And for the price, for the steering wheel and that, very, very good. Very good investment. I highly recommend as of now. I mean, you just saw I took it off, put it on one-handed. Now what I have here is some pieces for the oil pan. This one right here on the top is the piece that would be for if you wasn't going to have turbos on it, the stock replacement piece. And then the piece down below here, that is for your oil filter. Now where that goes is with the O-ring down into here, so as that you can put your oil filter on, obviously. So I'm going to get that installed really quick. And while I'm doing that, Steven's getting everything ready to put the harmonic balancer on so we can make sure that the timing cover is matched up perfectly before we tighten the front cover bolts. We have the harmonic balancer pushed in. He's getting ready to tighten the bolt up. Oil pan's on. I'm gonna tighten the last 2 front bolts and then tighten the timing cover bolts up as well, so as that that can be done, and we can put the water pump back on, the belt back on, and we should be good to go. Alrighty, y'all. So what we got here is our engine ready to go back in for the second time. We got the high torque starter on, we got the new oil pan with the drain bungs on, water pump on, timing cover on, belt, pulleys, everything is ready to roll. So we're gonna wrap it up today. We're gonna go out to the Steel City, well, not Steel City, the Colorado Catch Days, and see what that's about. But for today, we're gonna end it on that. We got the new oil pump in and everything else. So hopefully tomorrow we lift this thing up, drop it in, and fire her off. Well, guys, we are back home. Well, they ended up calling it at the race at the Colorado Catch Days. Too many wrecks, too many issues with everything. But the biggest factor is the track was getting too cold for them to make passes. Now, mind you, yes, they were on a racetrack, but no, it was not prepped. It was a non-prep race at all. Zero prep. First time any cars have been down that track all season. So it was scraped bare, nothing there. So one of my buddies crashed his car. We got it going again. I'll throw some video and didn't get past first round. And then it was pulled. We were supposed to be pretty well done racing by 5 o'clock. By the time 5 o'clock got around, we hadn't even been through we barely made it through the first round. There was like 2 cars left and nobody wanted to race. Well, everybody wanted to race, but the track was just too cold. There was no heat in the track. It was too dangerous. So, but anyways, enough said with that. Here's a little video of us out there. I mean, not a whole lot because it wasn't very much, but here it is.
on me, homie, I'ma smash. If it ain't about the cash, you better cut the chat. You better cut the chat. You better cut the chat. Dump the clutch and hit the gas, I never finish last. Your girl is all up on me, homie, I'ma smash. If it ain't about the cash, you better cut the chat. You better cut the chat. You better cut the chat. The money it talks, the bullshit it walks. Dripping from my head to my socks, I got it on lock. Popping the tops, taking these shots, sipping Corona, no virus. Fucking it up, busting it nut, not giving a fuck if that's your bitch.